this one case. So I want to lead you through quickly. Let's see how fast I've gone through this. Pretty fast, wow. Quickly through the creation process to show how sort of like jazzy you can actually get very, very quickly. So this part hopefully be like pair programming, but with like 100 people. So we don't know if it will work, but how do you do this? So I want to make a very simple thing which streams Twitter stuff from Drumbeat, or from anything, right? So it's a fairly simple application. So you start with sort of wireframe. And this one you can do something normal, right? So there's a search box up at the top, and then the stream goes down at the bottom. That seems really boring. I want something a little bit more pizzazzy. So when I was mocking this up, I was like, well, how about if you just start with a simple page that has search here, you type, and then you get the Twitter statuses to appear sort of in random piles, and then you zoom into each one, right? Let's just imagine that we could do that. I'm like, all right, that seems good. That's enough to go on. I actually have more detailed stuff in my bag. And so I got to work with that. Oops. Let me switch out of this. Make this go away. So that's not totally boring. I actually started with just a little bit of code here, which I'll also jump into. But I want to show you how easy it is to steal other people's work and build on top of it. So there's a wonderful library called Zoomaz, this here, that works on top of jQuery. And what it does is just lets you zoom around in a page. If you click on it, it goes in and out, using all standard HTML technology. And it's very simple. You just have to include a couple lines of code at the top, and then you use one line of code zoom to, right? So given this, I'm like, aha, I think I can make this zooming thing where you like each Twitter stream comes in pretty easily. So we come back here. So let's look at this page. Right now it doesn't do much. Let's see what it is. So right now it's one very short page. Can people roughly see this? Ah, fantastic. All right. I'm including jQuery and the Zoomaz stuff. I have that first box I showed you about. So did with an idea of orange or original. I just have my text. I have an input box, and then I have a button which says stream it. And that's all, right? I have a little bit of CSS here to make the box appear in the upper right-hand corner with a little bit of the box shadowing. I have this thing called status, which will soon be the thing where status appears. And then I have the go button. And I have exactly one function in here for now. And this shows the status. So it creates a random size. It makes a new div element. It positions it randomly inside the window, gives it a random width, and changes the font size. It appends some status into that thing and puts that into the body. So if I'm in here, and I hit Command-Shift-K, which brings up the console, I can now type, right, this is show status. It's a function, so I type show status, and then text is hello. It'll appear someplace in there. Right, so that's all I have right now, just sort of very basic framework. All right, so that's sort of cool, but a little bit boring. So first I want to do is have this box zoom in. Right, so we're going to do the simplest thing. I already showed you that you just use the zoom to function. So I'm just going to call orange, so that's this div. I'm just going to say when you start, zoom here. So when I run this, we now get something sort of cool. Right? So it's pretty fast to get to something interesting. Well, now we actually have to make this do something. So if I type drumbeat in here and hit stream, nothing's going to happen. Actually, first, before we do that, I'm going to uncomment that out. Let's have a little more fun inside creating the statuses. Let's give it a color, so background color. And then we're going to say a particular type of value for the color. Watch me make mistakes here. Okay, so now we have math.random. We need something in 360-degree space. We want it with 50% saturation and 100% lightness. and 0.8% background color. All right, so if this works, what you should see, oops, go away, is status, display status. What do they call this thing? Show status. Text, hello. Oh no, it looks like I made a mistake. Error in parsing value background color. HSVL. Yeah, whatever. It's gonna take too long. Let's do something else. Let's do. What? Did I hear it wrong?
You've got two. Oh no.
Nah, it looks sort of right to me. I don't know why that's not working.
It's HSL.
What? HSL?
Yeah.
Intriguing.
It's the 100% luminosity. It's too much.
Okay. See? Group debugging. Check it out. Woot. Well done, sir. I owe you a beer. Alright, so now we have lots of these things, all different colors, so that's nice. Now let's also change the rotation. So Ma's transform. Let's just rotate it around. Rotate. And then we need in degrees, so math.random times 180, so 180 degrees rotation. Let's do this again. Woot! Now they're just showing off at pretty random stuff. Nice. Now that we've got something sort of interesting going on, all we have to do is hook this up to Twitter. So we come over here to the Twitter page, we look at their search method, and you can see here that all you have to do is get a to call a simple URL with a callback and the query, and that'll put it in. So to make this a little bit easier, I'm just going to copy this from the other file, and I'll explain what it is. Yeah, I'm cheating. But I don't have to. Right. Okay. So now when you click on Go, it's going to clicking on Go. It's going to get this URL, which is going to call a function called result with the value of the text field here, and then put that script tag into the page. Right. So that means we're also going to have a function called results, which is going to get the results. So let's do the old standby to make sure this is actually working. Refresh the page. When I click stream, error loading script. I'm not on the interwebs. Oh, wait. Drumbeat. See if this works. Let me just go to Google. Make sure that.
Try the Fed one. It's working before.
Nothing's working.
Or have the Henry one?
Yeah, Fado
Henry's
works.
working.
Which one?
Prepare.
Who's Henry?
Good for us. And can we test it by looking at what is the result of that URL directly in the browser?
Yes, unfortunately, it's normally with it's JSON encoded. So which one did you say? This one? Go, please. One more beer into your computer. All right. So then we see that it's connecting to Twitter. Search the twitter.com. It worked. You see this useless object here. So then we're going to do two things here. I'm just going to again steal this a little bit. We want to take the results and store it into a global object, because remember, global objects are okay because this is a prototype. And also an index. And then I say, I want to display something. So let's write this display function. Display next. And it's going to do two things. It's going to, let me go back to make sure I'm thinking about this right. Yeah. So we're going to do, first we want to show the status. In this case, we want the window.results. And then we want some index, so window.theIndex. So this just gets the very first search result, and it passes it into show status, which has a .text, which gets shown here. So now if we come back to this page, search, and load it up, we get, well, you can sort of see it down there. You can see one thing showing up. So that's cool. Then we say set timeout. And then we're going to have to say window.the-index ++. And after 4,000 seconds, we should call it again.
Milliseconds.
What? Oh, it's 4,000 milliseconds, thank you. We just display next. So that's all we have to do here. The last thing, of course, is that when we actually append it, we want to add a zoom to functionality. And of course, at the beginning, let's give this zoom to. So if this all worked correctly, it'll zoom in, and now I hit stream, we will have this thing, or, yep. We now actually have a pretty cool, usable Twitter streaming device, which I have almost entirely hand-coded in front of you. And so that's sort of the power of JavaScript and HTML, is that given other people's libraries, and whatever you're trying to do, there's probably somebody else who's written something which makes it all work. You can get to something which feels real and feels actually pretty sexy within 30 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on what you're doing. Yeah, now I can't compete with this thing, can I?
Refresh.
Yeah, refresh. Okay. So I don't know if anybody wants to play with this more, but that's sort of the power of prototyping. It goes from, I want a Twitter streamy thingy-bobber that zooms around to, no, here it is, it's cool, play with it. Of course, I can't share this, I can't do a number of things, but that's okay, that's enough to get people excited. And I think that means that this is the end, because that is how to prototype. Thank you.